Yo, what's going down, family? I don't own the rights to the music in the background. It's 963 hertz frequency music. It's 1/9/2024. You feel me? But check it out. Today I want to talk to y'all about the ego death. You feel me? Um, but it's a little something extra to it. But listen up. There is no physical ego death. Okay, you cannot unalive the ego. There's no way you can do it. And I'm going to come back to that part in a minute. Okay. This is for, I don't own the rights to the music in the background, 963 hertz frequency. You know, I'm going to need y'all to use y'all ticker right quick. But, there is no ego death. If you want to unalive the ego physically, you can do it to yourself. You unalive the ego, you no longer exist. You no longer exist. You are in the ground. Good night. You get it? But now check it out. There is, and this is if you understand it, this and the hereafter this, you will totally get what I'm saying right now, right? There is a place where you can go to see everybody that unalive the physical ego. You want to see that shit. But anyway, look, there is no ego death, right? Apply as above, so below when you listen to this in this moment. As above, you always have the ego mind. You get it? The ego mind is what made you walk, move, do what you do, stay how you stay, be how you be. The whole nine. Where the mind goes, the body follows. The ego mind is what took over when some weird shit happened, right? Where, imagine this, okay? You, except for coming down gracefully, right? You just fall down, but when you fall down into an empty cave. Boom, hit your head, and you forgot. It's kind of sort of, whether you want to believe it or not, it's kind of sort of like that, because we are supposed to have divine guidance in the midst of having this free will, you know. But the ego death, okay, that's that part of you, like I just said, right? They got you all like this, right? But it's another part of you where you can connect to. That's a higher mind. You feel me? That's the ego. It's like this here, right? All those thoughts in your mind, all that shit right there, right? When you start becoming aware, because this is where it gets mental, okay? This is where it gets mental. But you start to see all these old shits in your mind. You get seeing all these like the shit that you got yourself into. You starting to become aware, self-aware. You feel me? Self-awareness plays a big part in this shit, and y'all should know self-awareness by now, because a lot of shit about to get is getting exposed if you're not aware. But when you do away with those thoughts, right, and it might take you back to the biblical terms, because John says, I die daily. You can look it up in the book of John. It's somewhere in that Bible. So when you face those deaths, that means you putting away that old thought, that old pattern, that old repetitious behavior, and you are starting to become aware of the loops and the cycles that you caught in. We call them karmic cycles, but that's just a part of becoming aware of the ego, you know. Because if you think you done unalive the ego and you walking around like your ego is just so unalive, yeah, that ego thought got you doing some dumb shit. You gotta understand that ego thought been here. So you believing that that's one of the biggest tricks this thing done pulled so far. If you believe that you can just unalive the ego and now you walking totally in, nah, it don't work that way. It don't work that way. You gotta understand the terminology of I die daily. The minute you become aware of your unconscious or repetitious patterns and habits, it changes. The minute you become aware, so you got rid of that thought, and now you are walking in a whole new light in physical reality. As above, so below. Sorry it took so long to explain it, but you got to become aware of that shit. There's no unaliving the fucking ego, yo. And the minute you think you did, that's that having you believe that. The ego thought, these thoughts don't go nowhere. They're patterns. You should see that by now, right? So when you identify that pattern, you just change the game. It all starts up in the mental world first. Otherwise, you fooling yourself, thinking you unalive the ego. Unaliving the ego is just getting rid of one thought and rolling with another one. Cain killing Abel. You see, it's you on this side and it's you on this side, and you can go down any road you want to go down. Which one of those thoughts you gonna get rid of? Yeah. But anyway, I love y'all, man. Y'all stay up. Y'all stay right out here and understand there's no alive in the ego unless you want to go 6 feet deep in the ground. Otherwise, stay playing this game. You get rid of the ego mind, the ego thought. Become aware of yourself. And while you in the situation you in, be real with yourself, because only the higher mind going to show you that shit. And then the minute you get rid of all that shit, you start rolling with the higher mind. I love y'all, man. Y'all be good.